lately. I've been busy and stuff, but like my last story, just a Forever Strong video, and talked about my story, how I dealt with depression. But what I'm trying to say is bullying, cyberbullying, feeling like nobody understands, all your friends have left you, feel like you have no one to talk to, you feel like you're alone all the time. That's me. I understand. Most people, they think that they can just say stuff like, oh, you see how she's dressed today, rada rada this, rada rada that, and they think it doesn't hurt us. They do it to make themselves feel better, and it's ridiculous because most people are just crazy, and they don't think, they think, oh, making them feel miserable is going to make me feel better. So I had this one kid in my class that, like, catty corner for me, but he sat behind me, and he was like, oh, she's emo, she's going to go cut herself and stuff. And I was just like, wow, really? You're going to embarrass yourself in front of all your friends? And I literally exploded on this one kid on the bus. He made fun of me. And I was like, you don't know why people do that, stuff like that. We get to the point, we need to make sure that we are still alive. To make sure people know that we're here. And then we feel like nobody even notices that we're there. Most of us feel invisible. I feel invisible all the time. Almost everybody, they just used to shove me down the halls and stuff. And everything. I literally gave up on trying to make friends because half of them would turn their backs on me. But there's this song I think you all should listen to. It's called Diana from the Midnight Memories album by One Direction. If you don't care, you can stop the video now and don't care to hear the meaning of it. But if you do care, I prefer you stay and listen. The song was dedicated to all the depressed and suicidal fans of One Direction. Because there's a princess in England, her name was Princess Diana. She suffered depression, but she died in a car crash a little bit before 2000. I think it was a couple of years before, I'm not sure. But on the perfume bottle, Our Moments, that came out a little bit before Midnight Memories, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. But they came out with the perfume, and it had a crown for the lid. The reason why was because we're their princesses. And this album, Midnight Memories, stands for we stay at past midnight, deciding whether we should kill ourselves or stay and deal with it. I chose to stay and deal with it. I know I've cut myself multiple times in the past. And people judge me because of that. They're like, oh, once I get to know you, you're going to cut yourself again. I'm like, no, I'm not. You don't understand. I've tried to stop. I've gotten to the point before where I'm just giving up. I just have big meltdowns over nothing. I cried myself to sleep like 3 or 4 nights in a row. I mean, my life isn't as miserable as some of y'all's, but it's pretty bad. But if you need a friend to talk to, I'm going to put my Twitter and Instagram in the description box. And you guys can follow me, write me on Twitter, and I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. But the people think that One Direction's is only just a band, and they're not just a band. They're my heroes. They're my 5 heroes. Niall, Louis, Liam, Harry, and Zayn. Those are my 5 heroes. They may be my heroes, but they don't wear capes. Not all heroes wear capes. They're my angels. They may not have wings, but they're still my angels. And that's what they say to all the Directioners. We're their princesses. We may not have crowns, but we'll always be their princesses, and they'll always be our boys. That band, One Direction, they're part of the reason I'm still here. And this right here, every time I let all the people and the bullies win, I would do this. This is what they would make me do. But all I want to tell you is stay strong. I know you can do it. You're strong enough to do it. If you made it this far, you can. I promise.